insulated groups that live in echo chambers, and that's, I think, like one of the things you highlight the most about this show, this Am I Racist film that you made, is like the struggle sessions where these people all get, like the first scene where you before they know who you are, when you're you're going and it's sitting there and talking to these people about these things, like, who are you? Like, where do you live? How do you think like this? Like, what is going on in your life that you've been exposed to this version of the world that seems so ridiculous to someone who's not in that bubble? So ridiculous that it seems fake. It seems like you're doing like a Borat thing.
Yeah, and we've gotten that with the movie. People ask, is that all real, or did we stay? It's all totally real. We didn't script any of it. And that in particular is it's like a support group for white people who are struggling with their white grief because they have privilege and they're grieving their whiteness and their privilege. And there's this woman, Brashia Wade, I think is her name, a black woman. She'll do these sessions with white people where she'll kind of like talk them through their whiteness. And people pay money to go and sit around and talk to her. And that was another one. That was like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the room in real time.
When did they start figuring out who you were?
At some point midway through, they started looking at me strange because I was intentionally making it really awkward, just because it was funny. But then as you can see in the movie, I get emotional because I'm on my own journey of self-discovery, and I had to leave because there's the one rule that all these people have. We ran into this multiple times. Is if you're white, you're not allowed to cry in front of black people because that's white tears, and you can't shed white tears around black people because white tears are manipulative. So in this place, she had a cry room. She said, if you get emotional, you have to cry. We have a room. Get away from us and go cry over there. So at one point I left to the cry room because I was getting emotional. It's a very emotional experience to confront my whiteness. And I guess while I was gone, they started talking to each other and like, who is this guy? They looked it up and they were Googling and then I came back. The whole thing had changed. The tone had changed. They kicked me out.
It's a great scene.
They call the cops.
When the guy is saying, he's trying to hold your hand, trying to grab you, and you're like, I did not consent to be touched. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to touch you. I'm just going to answer your questions. Come, I'll answer your questions. He's going to answer your questions. Like, what kind of answers are you going to give me, buddy?
That guy, too, I can say. I don't. One of the people in that group was a professional cuddler, actually. It's not in the movie, but we just know that about them.
They get paid to cuddle with people?
Yeah, one of the people in the group.
Jeez.
A cuddleist is what they call it. So these are, but that's I think
fringe people.
We thought about somehow we could put up a lower third on the screen to like, but it would seem fake. It's like people don't really professional cuddler. Come on, but this is
too crazy.
These people exist out there. This is a world that they live in.
Yeah,
and they go to events like this, and they're very. They feel they have a lot of guilt for the fact that they're white. There were people crying in the circle. I mean, they were getting really emotional talking about it. There's the part where she says, think about being white and like what emotions come up when you think about being white. And then everyone goes around and they're like, oh, I have revulsion. I just feel, I cringe. I feel cringe. Really? This is you. You're talking about yourself. It's sick. It's a sickness.
Yeah. Well, it was very funny at the end, too. We try to get people, spoiler alert, try to get people to self-flagellate.
Yeah. Well,
and just a few people are like, that's it, I'm out. Like, slowly, you lost like a bunch of people over the course of it.
I didn't think, we had that planned as our last exercise when we bring the whips out. And we debated, like, is anyone really going to take a whip? I didn't think anybody would. I thought that this would be because we needed an end for the scene, and so I thought I'd bring the whips out and everybody would leave. And so then that would be the end, and then that's our, because it's a narrative. We're trying to tell a story, so that would be the thing that shows me I've gone too far. But then they started taking the whips, and I'm like, I don't think I can actually have you beat yourself right now for like liability. I don't know if I can do that. So I was not expecting that. And
well, you lost a lot of people when you asked who's the most racist person in the room.
Yeah. There was really right before that, I mean, you know, it's spoilers, I guess, but when I'm berating my my racist uncle, and well, I don't know, you got to watch it, but
You got to watch it.
yeah, that was for me the most making the movie, the most shocking thing to me that happened, that really took me back, was in that moment and the way they responded to it, which I was not expecting, and it's kind of dark.
Yeah, they got aggressive with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great movie, man.